Good morning. You might remember West Park, the park that used to be a golf club over by the Leesburg Bypass. At one time, the neighborhood was pretty worried about plans for developing it, but now the county has big plans for the park. For Wednesday, September 10th, it's your Loudon Now Morning Minute. The Community Foundation for Loudon and Northern Fauquier Counties invites you to their 2025 Roots and Legacies Awards Dinner and Gala on Friday, November 21st at Gordon Springs in Purcellville. They congratulate this year's Philanthropists of the Year, Jim and Rebecca McDermott, Changemaker of the Year, Father Daniel Velez Rivera, and Morven Park, winner of the Nonprofit Achievement Award. Roots and Legacies will be a night to remember, and event proceeds support the Community Foundation's mission to grow community giving. Tickets and sponsorships are now available at communityfoundationlf.org. Thanks for being with us. I'm Renss Greene. On Monday, the Leesburg Town Council got a briefing on the county government's plans for building out a new park at the former West Park Golf Club. The West Park project spans 134 acres just south of the Leesburg Bypass and was placed under conservation easement and sold to the county in 2022. That was in large part a response to concerns around the neighborhood about that property possibly being developed. Conservation easements permanently restrict development on a property, and in this case, the easement limits things like impervious surfaces, structure sizes, roads, utilities, and what the property can be used for. The county government's new master plan for West Park includes parking access from Clubhouse Drive, a restroom and pavilion nearby, parking access from Country Club Drive, and a pavilion, trails, and an 18-hole disc golf course near that. The county envisions 3 miles of asphalt trails, 1,000 feet of boardwalk, and a mile of unpaved trail. West Park Improvement Project Manager Logan Baird said the asphalt trails try to maximize accessibility through the site by matching the current trail layout and minimizing the amount of asphalt to be added. This because the park is actually already open to the public from dawn to dusk, and right now it's mostly trails from the old golf course. They're also looking at some wetlands improvements and restoring a spring. Construction is slated to start next summer and be done in the fall of 2027. Go to loudonnow.com/morning minute to check out the whole story. In other news, last year, Leesburg Movement, the town's Main Street organization, got a $15,000 grant from the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development for the Lassiter Way Beautification Project. Part of that project involves 2 road murals at each end of Lassiter Way with the town's Commission on Public Art, meant to gather artist submissions and choose the murals. They are, after all, the commission that advises the town council on public art. Well, now they have made their choices, 2 murals which have 3-dimensional effects, and town staff and police are raising safety concerns about them. Leesburg Movement Executive Director Erin Weston said the murals would help 18 businesses in downtown Leesburg. She also said the style was chosen for its eye-catching quality, which would encourage people to spend time in the alley and patronize the businesses on both West Market and West Loudon streets. She cited a 2022 study by Bloomberg Philanthropies that reviewed 150 road mural installations and concluded that asphalt art has a strong positive correlation with improved safety benefits and road user behavior. That study, she said, found a 15% decrease in the rate of crashes involving pedestrians or other vulnerable road users, a 37% decrease in the rate of crashes leading to injuries, and a 17% decrease in the total crash rate. But Leesburg Deputy Town Manager Kate Trask said the 3D effect could be confusing for drivers who might think the murals are in fact obstructions in the middle of the road to be avoided. She pointed to the federal Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, which sets standards for roads across the country, and says that designs should not be 3D. Leesburg Police Chief Thea Pernat also sent a memo to the council raising concerns about the art. The Leesburg Town Council was scheduled to go ahead with a public hearing on this last night, so watch loudonnow.com for updates. Loudoun County continues to rank as the largest generator of tourism spending in Virginia, and a large part of that is because Dulles Airport is here, and transportation spending counts. But not just because of that. Last year, tourism spending in Loudoun hit $4.9 billion, according to the Virginia Tourism Corporation. That's a 9% increase over 2023. That includes Dulles Airport, which falls under the category of transportation, and transportation spending accounted for $2.9 billion of that total. We also saw $442 million spent on lodging, which was almost a 12% increase, and $742 million spent on food and beverage, also up almost 12%. Loudoun also led the region in hotel occupancy rates with an average occupancy of 71.6%. According to the Economic Impact Report, tourism supported 18,856 jobs in Loudoun County in 2024 and $1.2 billion in direct labor income. No word on how tourism spending is looking so far this year. Dulles, for its part, served a record 27 million passengers last year, the most it's ever seen. And the town of Hamilton could be changing how it charges its water bills after its strategy to encourage people to save water worked a little too well, and after getting a report from a consultant called GettingGreatRates.com. The upshot of that report, according to town treasurer Sherry Jackson, is that the town set up a system where the less you use, the less you pay per 1,000 gallons to try to encourage their customers to save water. She said that's worked a little bit too well, and now almost all their customers are getting the lower rate. At that rate, the utility system isn't making enough to pay for itself. The consulting firm recommended some changes to the town's tiered rate structure and gave the town council a couple of options for how to do that. We've got details on that in the story on our website, so get the full story on this and all these stories over at loudounnow.com. On today's Get Out Loudoun calendar, All Ages Read Together is hosting their annual charity golf tournament this morning. Tee Off for Children's Literacy. 18 holes of golf, cart provided, open bar, and all proceeds go to support the nonprofit, which provides free preschool education to working families who do not qualify for publicly funded preschool. If you want to tee off for children's literacy, registration and breakfast starts at 8 a.m. and shotgun start at 9. It's at Raspberry Falls Golf and Hunt Club. And this evening, starting at 6:30 p.m., Solace Brewing Company in Sterling will host free line dancing lessons for absolute newcomers or experienced dancers. Check out the rest of the events calendar at getoutloudon.com. And if you like the Morning Minute, make big plans for a 134-acre Morning Minute Park to tell all your friends, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and it'll be waiting for you there every morning. Okay, have a great day.